Oops, excuse the chair. These are just starting streaming on YouTube, microscope. This is, I have some paramecium here, and they look like they're being well behaved here. So, and my iPhone is going to, for whatever reason, it's going to autofocus. And YouTube sometimes let me control that, and sometimes it doesn't. So let's see what happens here. So these are paramecium, and they're about 150x right here. I was actually looking for some water bears, tardigrades again today. Could not find any. So, so we go with what comes out of. Paramecium live in lichen and moss also when you get it wet. So whenever you're looking for tardigrades, you're always gonna be able to fall back on the paramecium here. But they're pretty interesting. They swim around. You can see the vacuoles in them. You can see how he's twisting and turning. So I'm gonna stream here about a half hour. If I get any viewers, about a half hour here, and then I might run over to Reddit. And I also have a Facebook page I'm gonna be posting to stream to also. This thing right here in the middle, I believe that is a testate amoeba. And it's an amoeba that lives in a shell. And what you're looking at is his shell. I would really have to zoom in to see if I can see any of his pseudopods sticking out. This could be, and if you do, you'll see them sticking out the edges, almost like, I don't know, zombie feet, like jello feet. And I don't see any yet. They're hard to tell apart. This could be, tardigrade eggs sometimes look like this, but they're usually elongated. So, the thing that looks like a rock, hey, Miss Art, M's Art. Which one? This right here, if that's what you're talking about, it looks like a rock. It pretty much is a rock. It's a grain of dirt or sand. And so that's what it is. I try to clean it out as much as possible to get these things on here, but you're always going to get something with it. And yeah, I can spend hours trying to get a clean sample. And you'll see in a minute when I polarize this, the rocks that we call them are minerals, so they usually glow. And this is a paramecium that's being very well behaved here. I actually have in this sample, I have about, I don't know, a slight drop of methyl cellulose, less than a drop. And it's not harmful to these guys as long as you don't make it syrup. And what it'll do is slow them down enough to where you can examine them. Thanks, Gingerbread. Yeah, I'm just trying to expand out onto YouTube to get my 4,000 viewing hours so I can get some ad revenue. I have a lot of stuff I want to get in the future, different kind of microscopes to even stream better stuff. But this is pretty good right here. You can see the vacuole, that vacuole right there. You saw how it just collapsed on itself? What happened was that was right at the surface of this guy, and he excreted it basically, and it went out into the water. So if he had any digested food or anything in there, it went out as waste. Yeah, Ginger. It's going to take a lot of views, and live views do count toward the hours. So if you watch this, say if 10 people watch this with me for 15 minutes, well, 15 times 10, what is that, 150 minutes? that's more than 2 hours counted toward your 4,000 hours. So it's pretty useful, you know, to stream live. And this one, you can see the cilia. I can experiment with the dark field, but if you look, you can see the cilia pretty good on this. This is a little bit of phase contrast here. Yeah, gingerbread, that's cilia. That is on the edges of him, and it's around his mouth parts also, which you would call his mouth parts, and that it just filters the water, and it just keeps pulling the water in, and that's how it eats. And let me go ahead and polarize this real quick and see what we get. Polarization, as most of you guys, I only have a few viewers right now. Polarization will, you know, it depends on what you're looking at, but it's usually pretty good. You'll see some things, minerals and stuff will light up. So this is almost, I got the polarizer on it, but it's almost no polarization. So as I spin the circular, so you could see inside of this person, this person. Let's, okay, if I polarize it a little bit. Now, when you polarize it with this scope, since I don't have a professional polarizer, I just made it myself with two polarizing glasses. You lose a little bit of detail, but you can see, maybe you could see the minerals inside of them. Then they glow. So I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on my computer and just announce on Reddit that I'm streaming here. So enjoy him for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, so he moved out the way. That dog. Let me uh let me go down a little bit. Power. Man, he moved quick. He must have vacuumed up all his stuff there and swam off while I was gone. Hope he didn't jump out. So this is about 60x right here. And I believe you can, and I'm gonna pinch in a little bit so hopefully it stops. And here's a couple of more paramecium right here. Look like spaceships, don't they? Look like spaceships docking with the polarized light on it. And it seems like, I don't have a magic touch, so my water under the cover slot is kind of deep. That's why you can see it jiggling. Usually, you don't want it too shallow, or you inhibit them so much that it's no fun. But you can't have too much water on it, or they can swim up and down and they keep going out of focus. And you can see when you fully polarize it with my homemade polarizer, I mean, it's not homemade lenses, but it's not the best way to do this. I'm gonna try to fix it up in a second. It gets really soft, so let me, I got one other place I can put it. There you go. So notice that rock right there. It's a mineral of some sort that just does very well with polarized light. So that's nice to look at by itself. Some people look at minerals and rocks under the microscope all the time just for that. So, but you get the polarized mineral and the paramecium. I don't know if that right there is a paramecium. I think that might be a Eupleutes, what they're called, a Eupleutes. I'm gonna zoom in on him on 100. Let's see. So really about 150 to start. Yeah, notice he's a little different, and I believe that is a Eupleutes, Euplotes. Let me see if I can. Sorry, I had to get up. It sounded like a truck outside. Okay, so we got paramecium, and notice how you could see the difference, how he's different. He has some, I don't know if those are cilia on the back, if you would consider them cilia, because they really surely not flapping around. That's for sure. Now, he looks like a Eupleutes. I'm not saying exactly if it is, so take that with a grain of minerals. So, and so you can go a little more. You got to get a happy medium here with the. And notice that YouTube doesn't give me control of my iPhone camera, so it wants to focus by itself, and that's why you get that little zooming out and zooming in. Oh, something just hit him. Look, paramecium came out. Yeah, Aussie. No, those aren't flagella. Flagella, usually you have one or two of them, and they're longer, and they'll whip around. Usually when they're short like that, they're cilia. But cilia usually move, continuously moving. I don't say they have to, but, and I'm not, I don't know every single creature here, but I think there's a Eupleutes. Uh, and because they do have those cilia, I'm going to call them, on the front and back. Notice the front ones, the ones pointing down, I guess, are moving. So you can see them filter in the water with that. So those are moving, and these ones back here aren't. So I'll look it up. I mean, just for myself, I just want to see what that is. And you can see the size difference in the paramecium. And notice the paramecium can swim up and down. They're going up and down. Yeah, are they shorter also? Oh, where'd he go? Did he run off? Oh, there he is. Yeah, yeah. Well, cilia, if you look at cilia on these guys, well, you can't really see them now unless I zoomed in without polarization, but they are usually short. This guy right here seems to have long ones sticking out the back of. And if you look up Eupleutes, I'm gonna get my paper up, see how you spell it. If you look up Eupleutes, Euplotes, you'll see the drawing of it or how it looks. It's very similar to this. Look, I tried to find that one time, and every photo and everything I've ever seen just shows the the cilia around the edges. Now they do have, in a relation to his mouth parts, I guess you would call them. So they do have a front and a back and a side in relation to where the mouth part is. And I've never seen a cilia beating, on towards the camera. Doesn't mean it doesn't, but I've never seen one. I've never even seen a picture of one. So, if I was just if I was like back in the day and saw these, from what I'm seeing, I would have to conclude that they just have cilia around their edges. But I'm probably wrong. There's our Eupleutes hiding over here. Now I have, as I stated, on this drop of water, I have a slowing agent called Methyl Cellulose. It's non-toxic. It just thickens the water a little bit. And it slows them down a little bit. If I go over to my other slide over here, see what I got here. Go back. Okay, that's a big piece of duckweed. So, all right, let's see. Notice how fast these guys are. See how fast they are? Yeah, cotton wool streams will do it too. But I tried that a couple of times. It's good for just looking, but when you start streaming, it gets in the way, and people always want to know what it is. So, they always, what is that? What are those? Streamers come and go. So every time somebody came on, they wanted to know what the cotton was. And notice how these guys are real fast. So if I was trying to follow one of these, it would be a pain. So that's why we got it on. Let's go back over here. Let me find a good paramecium. So you can see, I don't have it gooped on there where they can't move, but I have it where they slowed down a little bit. Go over to 100 here. It is about 150. There's our Eupleutes again. And what's good on the iPhone doing this, I can pinch zoom in. So if this is 150, that's probably 400. And then, 600-ish. It's hard to tell. But if I can ever figure out how to stream a very sharp image with polarization, boy, it would be spectacular, huh? Without spending, $1,000. I do have some, I ordered some, right now I bought 2 filters. I have DSLRs, so I didn't waste the money. I bought 2 inexpensive polarizers for my camera. And I said, well, let me use them on here and see how it does. And it does a fairly good job, as you can see. Now I did order for, I don't know how much it was, 15 bucks, a 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter sheet of polarized paper, linear. So that'll be in Monday, I think. And what I'll do is create some kind of slide where I can put one on top and one on the bottom, and see if I can get any sharper video. And yeah, one thing about the water, not only does it slow them down when they want to move, but I think it makes them not want to move so much, because it expends a lot of energy moving through things that are a little harder to swim through, of course. Be like if we was trying to swim through Jello or syrup instead of water. I mean, eventually you just want to sit there and float. Yeah, the gingerbread. Yeah, this one. Yeah, okay. I decided a couple of months ago that I was going to stream stuff, and when you're streaming, I mean, as you know, you can't, you don't want to be fumbling around, and you don't want the image to be going in and out. I mean, you lose viewers, and people start asking questions. So I said, okay, let me save some cash and get, and also I was lucky enough to get some donations and stuff from you guys, and I was able to put it toward, I don't get tons, but with y'all in mind, I get it at half price, I guess you would say. I pay half, and the donation paid pretty much half of my last, month's worth of supplies and things. So what happens is I was able to buy this, and I researched it on. He had inexpensive ones, and those inexpensive ones, they could have, remember, they have a lens in them. So if it's bad glass, I don't want to say bad, but if it's inferior, which probably is, I mean, even the one I have is not superior glass, but you'll start to get, notice around this, when I zoom in, you don't get any kind of purplish fringe or anything, purple, bluish fringes around the edges. That's because the lens in there is decent, at least decent, okay? Now, the inexpensive ones that cost $15, $30, they, well, yeah, the lenses have to be, they have to be, what do they call it? Acrochromatic? Yeah, no chromatic aberrations. That's right. So if you go out and buy, and like I said, you don't want to spend money you don't have, but if you go out and buy a $20 iPhone adapter, the lens is going to be a little less, and you'll get some aberrations, the color flares around the edge. It's not a killer, but you're going to notice it. And when you're trying to hook those to your phone, you just got to get it perfect. Because if you don't get it perfect, you're going to have some bright spots on the right side. You're going to have some dark spots. You're going to have, your stuff's going to be squished up. So once you get it perfect and you get it locked in and you put it on there, you're playing ball. That'll be fine. I got this one, which was fairly expensive. Well, it was real expensive. I mean, it cost probably, 1/4 of what my whole microscope cost. But it's made exactly for an iPhone. They make them exactly to the phone you're going to use. So this one is an iLabs, and it's made just for this phone. And all I do is pop in the phone, and I can pop it out and show you my microscope and not worry about it, going out or falling off. So, yeah, this is Justin just asked, where is this from? This is actually from moss that was at the bottom of a tree, the bottom of a trunk of a tree. If you look, you'll see that green mushy stuff. You probably always look at it, and if you have it growing in on your sidewalk, in the cracks of your sidewalk, you probably just take the weed eater and buzz it out of there. Well, that's where this is from. And I've been looking for water bears for 3 days now, and you find water bears in moss. Okay, so I looked for about a half hour this morning. I got to go to work later, but I looked for about a half hour this morning. Couldn't find any water bears, so I said, okay, well, let me stream my Paramecium and this Eupleutes. Yeah, microscopes are fun, and like I said, so many people ask, which microscope do I recommend for beginners? I think I put in a post on my Reddit page. I did post I don't know, I think it might have been about $170 microscope. It's an Amscope. It's through Amazon. And, I've never had that exact one, but I've had $100 microscopes before. And if you just peering through them, you could see this. I mean, you could see it. I recommend getting a scope with what's called 3D stage, where you can just move it side to side and up and down really slow with knobs on the stage, instead of putting your hands on the slide and moving the slide every time this thing moves. Here on YouTube, you can put your equipment used in the About section. Yeah, I think I did. Look at that. I don't think I have my equipment I used, but I think I might have. I think I tried to post a link to the microscope that beginners might want to use, but the link thing was so big, YouTube didn't like it. I'll figure it out though. And you can see whenever he goes out of focus, that means he's swimming up toward me or away from me. So. Here's a nice glowing one. Look at that one, boy. Is that nice? You can actually see the minerals moving around in him. No, Justin, I don't live too far from seawater. Maybe 2-hour drive to the Gulf Coast, and then I could probably grab some. But since I started streaming, and since it's not easy to just run out my back door and get it, I've never looked at seawater, but I will this summer for sure. That's a good picture right there. That's good video. I mean, if I say so myself. Yeah. I mean, he's always got stuff going on inside him. He's always filtering water, so. Yeah, those circles are vacuoles, and they regulate how much water he has inside of him. He can adjust the water as the pressure gets lower outside. He can keep more water in, or he can push it out. And he also, when they eat, they trap food in there, or waste, I guess, and it digests it. And as it digests it, you'll see those vacuoles move to the end, and then they'll just kind of disappear. And that means they squirted it out into the into their environment. So I guess he's went on the hunt for some more food. So you can see it's a challenge to move and focus. This is out of focus. This is about as in focus as I can get. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. Yeah, this is some fun stuff. I wish, hopefully I can get a lot of followers on YouTube where I can get 4,000 viewing hours and get some ad revenue. uh, get some ad revenue from these streams and buy some new equipment. My goal is long run is a differential interference contrast microscope. You'd never own one new, but between $8,000 and $14,000 you can get a used one. So maybe a few years from now, if I can collect half of it from donations and ad revenue, I'd borrow the rest, as an investment. Yeah, seawater probably look good, and a lot of people say, seawater has a lot of moving stuff in it. It probably does. I don't think I've ever went swimming in the Gulf where I wasn't itching when I came out. So. So I'm gonna go pan around a little bit. So if you just came here, these glowing things right there are minerals, what you and I would call dirt. So this is just some mud and minerals that I got sucked up, and actually, it's not much different from what this paramecium has inside of it. So you can see when I pinch zoom, when these things stay still, they're really amazing. Look at that. I just saw a vacuole disappear a second ago. It was toward there. Well, it just got back. Hey, David, good. I don't know. You just stumbled across it? That would be good. David just stumbled across this, so that's what I'm looking for, David. If you can subscribe and watch for a little while. I'm trying to grow my channel with microscopes. I'm also on Reddit, KinSkid2001. So that was a good comment there. Whenever somebody's stumbling upon your live feeds, that's good. So thanks a lot, David. And this is a paramecium. I got him when I was searching for some water bears, tardigrades, and some moss. And it's, yeah, thanks. Yeah, share this if you can. I appreciate it. People give me donations to buy equipment in the last month, but if I can get this channel going and have people send super chats and get some ad revenue from the YouTube puts ads all over my stuff, but I don't get any. Yeah, share it, and maybe I can get that DIC microscope. So. And the iPhone has some, thanks, David. The iPhone has some filters on here, and I'm gonna take a chance and check them out and see what they do. That's not bad. Look, so this is called Dawn. Gives you a little pink look. I guess if somebody saw this, they might be more apt to click on it, So this is called Dream. Yeah, Justin, I mean, the trouble with water bears, like I have a pregnant one that had eggs about a week ago. And I got that one. I know it's in this tiny container with about, man, a tenth of an ounce, a tenth of a couple of milliliters of water. I mean, it wouldn't, I got to keep putting drops of water in it so it won't dry out. And I cannot find that water bear for anything. Oh, look, conjugation. These two right here, this is a treat, folks. These two right here are conjugating. They're exchanging DNA. It's not sex, but that's what that is. They're conjugating. Boy, is that nice. I'm going to actually take the filters off I'm gonna take the polarization off so we can see this one better. You know, and just go with the regular light. So hold on a second. So this is really good. I see this once in a while, but I wasn't lucky enough to stream one. Yeah, get a room. So there they go, conjugation. The reason you know they conjugating and not dividing is when they conjugate, they side to side like this, and they're exchanging DNA. And then after they separate, each one will split and go through, you know, meiosis or whatever. I got to look up my mitosis and meiosis. But they'll split, and half, you know, there'll be two identical ones. So from this conjugation, you're going to get four identical, but different than each one of them were 10 minutes ago. So you might not be able to see it, but this is two of them, and they're conjugating. Yeah, mitosis. And look, I got a biology degree. I went through more mitosis and meiosis since the 7th grade than I think anybody but a doctor. and I still get it confused. I think meiosis might be when the sex cells are gone. Oh boy. So this conjugating duo right here decided to stop by some algae. Yeah, voyeuristic. Oh look, here comes another one. He's coming around to look. Hey, that's my girlfriend. Hey, get out of here. This isn't a show. These other guys coming around to watch the conjugation. Okay, yeah. So that's right then. That's right. So pretty much, I think when they just divide asexually, they don't split. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, Amanda. Yeah. If I was on Reddit, I would have had to put that "not safe for work" tag on my video. With these two, look at this guy. Get out of here. Man. Can a paramecium get any privacy? Look, he's gonna go ahead and smell them. I'm gonna try some more of these filters. Whoa, that's a good. I just did a pop filter. I guess it makes it pop a little. That actually looks pretty good. Hey, Wendy's, 2 for $1 menu. Wendy's 2 for $1. Yeah, you see, I'm liking YouTube. I don't want to. I will go back to Reddit. Yeah, they might, and they might, Aussie. But look at YouTube. I know this is a little clearer than Reddit does, and I get a little more bells and whistles on YouTube. I get these filters, and I got to tell you that filter that said pop, actually, I'm kind of impressed. So let's see. How many micros are coming now? Earlier we didn't see this. I guess they're just perverts. Yeah, look, they're going to park right alongside. Even the Eupleutes, a different species, is coming to check them out. Yeah, thanks, Tom. I just, you know, Reddit's a different breed there. They're not really cut out for live videos. YouTube is. You know, YouTube's ahead of the game. So it's not unexpected, you know. No, I didn't name them. Y'all want to name these two? So Wendy, you can name these two. They're conjugating, so they're exchanging DNA right now. Yeah. Look, Look, that Eupleutes is on top, so I guess he wants to be next. No Eupleutes can't conjugate with a Paramecium. Larry's saying, all right, I had enough of this. So you can see when they start to move, it's hard to keep in focus. Yeah, go ahead and name them. Y'all throw up the names and y'all pick a best name. So I don't know how y'all want to do it. Paramore, Paramecium. Yeah. And y'all can name the ones that are spying on them also. Look, they all lined up. I'm next, I'm next, I'm next. So this is a treat, you know. I've seen Paramecium conjugate all the time, you know, but I've never had one right in the middle of a stream. So, and I am, you know, doing this, you know, science for kids on YouTube seems to be pretty popular. Yeah, pervy, pervy, yeah, pervy the Paramecium, PP. Brenda and Chad. So you can, I got something in my throat. And so when this is the second stream I think I did on YouTube, and I went through it and asked, is this for kids only? I may stream one for kids only. Not kids only, adults can go look at it, but you can't comment on it or anything. But I'd like to really have some kids and their parents stumble across this stuff. And to me, people that are growing their channels and stuff, when they target kids and are not, you know, not really boring them, you know, there's a lot of rules going around with putting kids feeds on, and you got to obey the rules. So I think my next stream, maybe a little later today, I'm going to market for kids, and see if I can get any parents and their kids looking. So it'd be nice. I don't know what I would do if I came across conjugation. I guess I'd have to just ignore it. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, yeah. And I have a 5-year-old granddaughter, and she's so bored of looking at my stuff. You know, she don't even like to look at it through the phone or the monitor. She likes to put her eyes on the oculars on the microscope. All right, look, they hiding now. Yeah, they're duplicating. Yeah, I could say go ask your parents what they're doing. but also I can talk, but I can't. There's no chat, so they wouldn't be able to ask me anything. There's no chat for obvious reasons. A lot of lunatics out there. It looks like they keep sneaking up on them. And conjugation, I think somebody can look it up. I used to know all this stuff. I think it could take an hour. It could take even more. Yeah, Aussie, I could get mods. I can tell you what, if this channel grows, I will need mods because I like to answer questions. You know, it really adds to the stream. You know, when I'm on streams on Reddit and I'm looking, even if it's somebody playing the guitar, if they answer 10 questions when they get back, that's so much better than just playing a guitar. You know, the person that streams bees. Yeah, yeah, Justin, all that's in the future. I mean, this is just starting out. There's a couple of excellent microbe websites here. The only way that I can really, you know, and I'm not an expert video editor. You can see my other videos. I can put arrows in them and I can put titles and I can stop motion and stuff like that. But to really stand out, I'm gonna have to come out with something different than other people. So yeah, maybe having a scientist chime in would be something else. Yeah, that would be good. DIC DIC, differential interference contrast. I am going to, I will invest in one of those one day. Yeah, that'd be good, Gingerbread. I am going to invest in that microscope. The used ones cost about 12 grand. I would have to get a lot of ad money from YouTube, some donations, and I would pay half. But that's why I'm trying to grow this channel. Anything I can earn from what they call ad revenue from ads playing on your page, I'll put it toward microscope stuff. And I'm no different. I have my Venmo and Cash App stuff in my titles, and I'll mention it once in a while. You know, it's fun to get paid for doing this. You know, I'm a biology major, but I kind of, people play the guitar and all, and they have tip jars. That's fine. I mean, I actually tip once in a while if they're good at it. But like I said, I'll usually tip people when they're talking, talk to me, talk to the people after. so, so you can see this one, even though it's conjugating, it's having some dinner too. So it can conjugate. Yeah, I think you can schedule, Aussie. Remember, this is only my second stream, so you can schedule a a video. So that would be good too. That's right. And what we're doing here, yeah, I know. Well, Google will take 30 cents if you do it officially. Okay, here's what you do. If you get 4,000 hours of viewing time, which is going to be months away, that would be great. With 4,000 hours of viewing time, okay, that means I get monetized or can apply to be monetized. That means I get a tiny bit of ad money, and you can donate directly to me through super chats and stuff. Like if somebody had a real pressing question they wanted me to read, they could throw up $1, okay, and it comes up bigger, $5, and it comes up bigger, I think. And so it's a good way to earn money. But yes, Google will take a portion of that, a big portion. So what I do is I put my Venmo and Cash App just right in my profile, and they can't get any of that. So zero. PayPal also. Uh, you know, PayPal. I don't know. They might take a tiny percent, but not nearly 30%. So, but what you have with those super chats and direct donations, you tend to get more donations, but Google will take more because it's just a click of a button, pop, and there's the donation. So with Venmo, they got to exit out of the stream, click Venmo, or come back. So you see how that works. So this guy looks like he's really taking it easy, these two. I'm going to experiment with some more filters. So that was called Pop. That's called Crush. That's called Glow. That's called, oh, that's Slate, a little black and white action. That's not bad. Noir. Dawn. Dawn's not bad either. It give you a little pinkish color there. So, uh-oh, bubbles. That gives somebody something to talk about. Huh? Is that real bubbles? What are those bubbles? Oh, did you? Is that how that works, Tom? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Conversion would be killer, I guess. Yeah. Thanks for that donation, Tom. Hopefully I sent you a thank you note. I do always, or I try to at least, always give thank you notes. Yeah. Dog face on it. Somebody just asked, dude, what are those bubbles? Bowl of seeds. Are you serious? I just said that would happen. That's a filter YouTube lets you put on there. So Yeah, Tom, thanks a lot. Every donation helps. And I tell you what, I was able to buy now my phase contrast. I have to send back because it does have a scratch on it. But they really it's a good company. Microscope. I don't want to even say the company since it has a scratch on it, but they are a good company and they take it back and they didn't even ask me if I scratched it. So they just say, oh, send it back, we'll replace it. It's been less than 30 days, so that's really good. Yeah, I was those filters I was oh yeah. So bowl of seeds was pulling my leg. But I guarantee you, if I kept it on there, somebody's coming on late and they're gonna see it. So and what I'm gonna do is, I think my slide, I'm having a little trouble moving my slide, and that's gonna be bad news because I'm gonna have to take off my conjugating people here. So let me see where you guys are. I notice when I move now, it's kind of awkward. Well, I don't know if you can see it. It's because the bottom of my slide got wet some kind of way. So I'm gonna go out to low power, try to get a general idea where these conjugating pair are. Yeah, gingerbread. That's a 3D. Yeah, they'll call them 3D stage or what you just put on there. So yeah, that's good. 3D stage, and what that's doing, my 3D stage is acting up right now because I got water under my slide, and the water makes the slide stick. Okay, so and when the slide sticks, the 3D stage can't move it around as anticipated. So I just had to clean it off, and it's really on the left hand side. So hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. So I think I'm back. So let me see if I can get to the. I'm going to add a drop of fresh water, distilled water in a minute, because it looks like they may be. Yeah, that's not my conjugation. Keep your eye out, conjugating. Where's my. They probably behind. I'll just look where the crowd is. So the crowd's right here. So let's see if that's my conjugating ones in here. I don't know if they back there or not. Let me get a little distilled water here. I'm just gonna put a little water on the side of this. You might see it move a little bit. You saw that water come through? So that was a treat. You saw that, you could see I put some fresh water in and it went right through. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they might be having a cigarette. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bowl of seeds, thanks. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see, gingerbread. The one is called Amsco B120B 42000 double oculus. It has, whoop, it has an 18 millimeter lens. So, oh, well, with iLabs, yeah, save. If you could buy an iLabs one, save up and get one. The adapter for the phone, because what you would do with that scope, you take one of the oculars out, and the holder comes with its own lens and adapter, and you take that one out. It's just a little screw, and you pull it out, and you put the adapter right in, and it just sits there. I mean, and so it doesn't matter if it's 18 millimeters or not. It should work. So I don't know where well, we saw enough conjugation, I guess. This is a Eupleutes We were talking about him. And notice those cilia on the back are moving now. We were talking about them not moving before. Yeah, and like I said, Gingerbread, the difference between an iLabs one that costs a couple of $100 and yeah, that Gingerbread, that was a bubble. The difference between an iLab one and one that costs a few dollars is that the iLabs is custom made for each phone that you get, and it's just pop in, pop out. You don't get any hassle. The other ones you're gonna fumble around with. I'm not saying don't get that, but they're gonna move. You got to get it perfect. So personally, save up. Save up. If you want to get a $20 one and use that until you save up a couple $100, do that. But that's a bubble. And really what you're looking at is the bubbles on there. So the reason it's black around why it's black around the outside is it's reflecting, that bubble is reflecting my objective lens. And notice inside the bubble, you could see through it that the bubble's acting as a lens also, kind of like a wide field. So. So since I lost my conjugation, yeah, and these seem to be huddled around a rock, a big boulder. So this stream's going on about an hour. So I'm gonna try to keep these to about an hour. And I'm gonna put another one for an hour on later, maybe on the kids section, because I'm trying to get people to watch these over the weekend. A lot of people have told me, look, put on a couple of hours and I'll stream it all weekend, to keep an eye on it. And then, my hours will go up. And so that's what I'm gonna do. So I wanna keep these to about an hour. I mean, I guess I could do a really, really long one, but nobody's gonna stay in more than that. So this is polarized light again, okay? And let me go to normal. Okay, no filters on here right now. Wow, I like these. Wow, look at that. Uh-oh. I'm liking these. Look, 8mm. Look, everybody. Paramecium in the olden days. There you go. So okay, everybody, this is what paramecium looked like when your grandma was a little kid. Let me take that. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the pop filter in a minute. So yeah. If anybody wants to know, I got a time machine, and I went back in time, and this is how it was recorded in the olden days. So, yeah, I'm liking this. All right, let me go out of here. This is called document. This is called dream. Ooh, that's called haunt. Let's see what that looks like. Let me zoom in on this guy a little bit. Oh wow, that is not bad. Let me check something out here. I didn't realize that filters would do this. So this filter actually gives this guy a little 3D look. Not quite though. Yeah, but notice you can, with haunt, I mean, I always know what I'm looking at, but notice you can see the food filtering by a little better. You can actually see the vacuoles. They're actually different than the rest of them. So that's pretty good. Haunt. Boy, I'm impressed. Doesn't take much to impress me though. So, but this is great. So far, I think I only had about the most viewers I had so far at one time on here was 10. So I'm not getting a lot of viewers, but the quality is going to be a little better. So what I'm going to do is, this one's Dawn. It's real pretty. Let me go to Pop again. Now Pop was one that brought out some details also. Hey, Klingenschmidt. Yeah, if they keep still, you'd really be able to see them. See this is a giant paramecium compared to the other ones. That's a big guy. He's ready to split. Look how big he is. Now, this other one, this little one over here, notice how big that one is and how little that one is. That's one that pretty much probably just budded off and split. So whenever a paramecium splits, it splits in the middle, in half. And then each half is half the size. So this one was, I guess you would say, just born. These are a little bigger, and you saw a minute ago, you saw a giant one, and so he might be ready to do some splitting of his own. Yeah, that fungi. Yeah, you got to know what to look at. In warm pond water. You can. I don't. I've never read up on how to separate it from the water, but usually you would find fungus and stuff maybe on the side, or the only fungus I really looked at before was cheese and yogurt. Well, I mean, not yogurt, that's bacteria. Some fungus, but mushrooms out in my yard. So I'll try to get some fungus on for you. I really have to read about how to go collect it. But let me go back to, oh look, glamour. There you go, glamour. Yeah, a slug. Now I actually have a microscope called a stereo microscope, and what it does is it allows you to put a plate of water underneath it or a big slide to look at big things, like slugs and stuff. I never did it yet, streamed it, but if I find a bug or something outside that's living, and I can kind of trap him in a little container, I'll put him on there. That's something to stream also. So this is called Glamour. Sepia is always a good one for anything. It's a little relaxing there. And got silver. Now, I don't know what's silver. Blood cells, you can, if you go to about 450x with blood cells, you could see them. You could see them. And if you're really good, you could see you got to be really good and you got to have a good microscope. But if you could see some bigger cells, you could see the red cells for sure, but you could see some white blood cells also. You got to really kind of know what you're looking for, and you got to prepare the slide right. But it's more than possible with this. I am liking this. Yeah, yeah. You gotta know what you're doing. That's right. Blood, and you could do a smear if you have a good smear technique. You don't even have to water it down. If you look online how to smear blood on a slide, these pathologists, they got it down to a science. They'll put one little drop and then they'll take another slide and put it on there and slide it through, and it becomes like one cell thick. They're good at it. So go look at that. Yeah, Tom. I mean, but just to know they're there is something, you know? Yeah, go check out how to smear blood. Pathologists, whenever you get a blood test and they do a smear, what it's called, and it looks so easy when they do it. It looks so easy, but it's not. I've tried it. I stink at it. So, but go look online. Blood smear, how to do a blood smear. There's a whole science behind it. And when they do it, ship, zip, zip, that slide goes right on top of it. It's perfect. So this is a lot of digital zoom right here. Yeah, they get a lot of practice, that's for sure. I had a blood test done and my white blood cell count was low a couple of months ago, and it was always never low. So they wanted to test me again, just a regular count, and it was still low. So they said, we're going to do a smear. And I said, well, how long would that take? They said the difference between a smear and a regular blood test is that a person will look at the smear. I said, what does that take, weeks to come in? They said, no, it'll be a couple of hours. Sure enough, I think Quest Diagnostics, they did a smear, and a couple of hours later it came back, and it was still low. I had low white blood cell count, but they wasn't abnormal. So they said, just check back in a year. Yeah, this right here, this one has cilia. I don't think it has flagella. I think those are all cilia. But yeah, you could surely see them now. But I'm liking this filter. Y'all like this filter here? This is awesome. I'm gonna start my stream with this next time. And guess what? I'm gonna try this. My phase contrast, I can't get to the post office. I mean, I can't get to UPS to drop it off. I don't want the UPS driver to pick it up till Monday. So I may have to slip that back on here and see how that looks in these filters. So y'all like the filters or y'all like it just plain? This guy's awesome right here. And look, I can go, all right, since, oh yeah, you can see him. And if you look right there on the top, you can see how those Paramecium on the top of him, you would call it. He's laying with his mouth parts up to you. I'm going to go to 400 non-digital on this. So this is 150 without digital zoom. This is really going to stretch it here. So this is 400 and this is 600. This is 600 right here. Okay. Yeah, no, Simon, no, not surprised. Yeah, there you go, 11 viewers at one time. I've never been surprised because I don't really go to exotic places and get anything. So I've never been surprised. I am surprised when I'm not looking for a water bear, a tardigrade, and I go and just get some puddle water or some stuff and just all of a sudden see a water bear. That surprised me more than anything. So look, that's a bubble right there. And this guy right here is just huddling up right next to that bubble. So this is 650 without digital zoom. So this is 650 without digital zoom. And you don't want to do digital zoom if you don't have to, because you lose, you lose. And look, it seems like they all want to know what this air bubble is. And if you notice, with my 600 lens on here, my 40x objective, you can notice some real faint circular lines around the outside. And somebody told me that could be a flaw. That could be a flaw with the objective. Is there something you want to look at under a microscope which is difficult to find? Yeah, I mean, what's hard to find is hydras. I've never had a hydra. Okay. So I've never had a hydra. Also stentors. Stentors are hard to find. I can go through a gallon of pond water and find 10 stentors. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. It's definitely not on my, it's definitely only with that 40X. So Stentors, Hydra, I've never had a Hydra, and water bears are just hard. You know, they just, yeah, I just don't know what it is about them. They're just hard. So I'm gonna go back to 100. So basically this is, oh look, there's that conjugation in black and white. There you go, came back. I should have known he'd be around where all these perverts are. So for people just coming, this is a filter called, what is this called? What is this filter called? I forgot. Oh, Haunt. And it just gives some good contrast of my paramecium. So this paramecium is conjugating. He's exchanging DNA with another one. Yeah, and amoebas. Amoebas are hard too. You gotta want to be finding an amoeba. I've never accidentally stumbled upon an amoeba. Sorry, I had to get up for a second. I'm getting ready to go eat some lunch. So let's just, let's go ahead and stream him for another minute or two. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my polarizer on and see what polarization looks like under this filter. So now I got a filter and a polarizer coming up, and I got to refocus. You can see the dirt on my polarizer. And let me turn my polarizer. Okay. Yeah, notice this filter kind of blocks out all polarization. That's bizarre. Let me see. Huh. Okay, so the filter, no male and female paramecium. They both the same, and they line up side by side and they conjugate. They exchange DNA like that. Yeah, so notice with the filter actually knocks out the filter actually knocks out the polarization. So yeah, that bubble is that dark thing circle is a bubble, and what you're doing is the bubble is reflecting my objective lens right back at you. So the middle part right there is just acting as a bubble lens to see underneath the bubble, but that dark spot around it is my lens. So you're seeing my objective lens being reflected back up to itself like a mirror. So there you go. I'm just going through some of these. This is more of a black and white one.